Um, all right. So my big question after last night's game, what are the Jets going to look like with Rodgers out for the year? What's going to happen with Garrett
LOL.
Wilson, Brees Hall?
They're gonna win in
Like
overtime,
what's going to
baby. What
happen?
do you mean? Come on.
I know that looked really good. Like mainly their defense looked
Well,
fantastic,
Dak
but
had to
I'm
get.
talking more on the offensive side. I mean, what is up with Garrett Wilson? Like
Well, hang on. That's the thing. Like Zach had
that's the
rhythm,
big question.
and I think that's what we saw. He was not in rhythm. It was kind of thrown onto him, like literally.
hmm
You don't expect Rodgers to go down in the first drive, so I think he
Four
had.
plays in.
Yeah, I think he had to hit like a mental reset and then get in rhythm. And then after that, he looked okay. Like towards the end of the game and into overtime, he looked good.
He had a couple
Yeah,
of adjustments where I was like, okay, Zach Wilson of last year wasn't making that adjustment. So
Yeah.
he is taking stuff from Rodgers, which is great. I think when it comes to this offense, I think they will go run heavy, especially when you have Dalvin
Yep.
Cook and Brees Hall, and
Yep.
then Michael Carter, if you want to add a couple like a spice here and there. But really, the big thing that I am concerned about is will the Jets look out for someone else? They do have another quarterback. That's their designated third quarterback. Well, he'll get moved up, but I think the reason why I am not totally like out on Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, Dalvin Cook is because I trust Nathaniel Hackett way more than Mike
Yeah.
LaFleur, like by a
yeah,
mile.
That's
And
that.
and we've seen in just history, just Nathaniel Hackett being able to work with the quarterback, and especially even though Rodgers may not be playing, Rodgers from Monday to Saturday can help
Well,
Zach
also,
Wilson be
I
like,
think
look for
yeah.
this,
Well,
look
and
for
he's
that.
I
pretty
think
much going to
in the
be
meantime,
another.
give him a headset. Put
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rodgers on
Well,
and let him
and
provide
having
that.
having Rodgers in that locker room as kind of a confidence boost as a pseudo QB coach for Wilson, you
Exactly.
know,
yep,
that'll really help him having that mentor there to help teach him, help coach him, say, "Hey, kid, calm down, focus on the playbook, focus
Yeah.
on this. You got this." Having that in the locker room, he didn't have that the year before. So, having all of that backing him up, it might end up being a decent year for Zach Wilson. He might be a potential sleeper.
No, I think so. I was gonna text you, Josh, too, after he got injured, but I wanted to wait. And I was just gonna text you and say, what was that about our awful trade?
yeah. What? Yeah. Look, I mean, it at points looked rough yesterday, but I am fully convinced that like that scheme there was no backup plan for Aaron Rodgers to lead 5 plays into the season. So there's a lot
Yeah,
of the checks, a lot of the game plan specific stuff kind of went out the window when Rodgers went out. So as far as your
yeah.
question, Ryan, I think Garrett Wilson definitely takes a hit. I think we're talking tier two, but maybe low tier two. It may take a little bit of time for it to
Yeah.
get going, but uh, Brees Hall, Dalvin Cook, I think we can start talking tier one status for Brees Hall.
Yeah.
Um, it's just they
Well, if he
cannot
keeps
get.
running like he did last night, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
definitely.
Which,
Well,
uh,
yeah, when you bust an 80-yard run, like, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, like exactly. And I think Dalvin Cook looked really good too. So it wasn't like
He
there's a
was steady.
like he was able to make it work. So I think Dalvin Cook is a much better
Yeah.
running back too than Michael Carter was. So I think you have a really good 1-2 punch there.
Yeah.
And I think if you're gonna still bring in Michael Carter just to keep those two fresh, you can run. You can run the ball. Actually, running the ball might be the best thing for you to do, especially when you have a Bills team that's too Josh Allen centric yet again, where Miami can score from at will, and then the Patriots can also drive down the length of the field. You might need to keep running the ball just to keep these offenses at bay.